Yo, too, what's good, man? What's happening? What's popping with y'all? Hey, bro, back with another reaction. What faking cancer looks like. This is by this nigga Fern. He got a lot of cool videos like this. He got a lot of cool videos like this. The one I just did earlier today was by him
It's
as well.
the 10th of August, 2015.
Got
a
me some
large crowd
spaghetti.
of One Direction fans are waiting outside the Natural History Museum in London. Today, Lewis Tomlinson is hosting a charity event at the museum.
I don't know who
the
that is.
Cinderella Ball. He has brought along his bandmate Liam Payne and his mom to raise money for terminally ill children. These children and their families are going through an incredibly hard time. They
Y'all
spend
think
a
you
lot
really
of
care about
hours
them
in
kids?
hospitals because of their illnesses. But today, at the Cinderella Ball, it is going to be a magical and unforgettable evening for them. Dressed in beautiful dresses and suits, they have already walked the red carpet and are now eagerly waiting for the One Direction stars inside. The ball is a huge success. Everyone has a good time. It's hosted by a British
So what's the
charity
catch?
organization. Believe in Magic. The charity was founded in 2011 by the then 16-year-old Megan Barry and her mother Jean.
Shout out
Megan
Megan.
understands the needs of terminally ill children. Since the age of 13, she has been seriously ill herself and had numerous surgeries and hospital visits. Then she was diagnosed with brain cancer. She decided to help all those children like her and founded Believe in Magic. At the event, both Tomlinson and his mom have nothing but good things to say about Megan, Jean, and their work.
The charity is absolutely incredible.
Anyone here that knows Jean and Meg that believe in magic will need no introduction to their kindness. These two ladies are big
Mom.
charity. No admin, no drivers,
Hello?
no advertising department, they do
No.
everything themselves. Very simply, they
Oh, I
just
probably
want the
didn't need
children
to.
of the charity to have some magic and have some experiences.
Megan and Jean sure seem like incredible people. But are they?
But
What if they are lying?
Is Megan really as ill as she claims that she is?
What if Megan doesn't actually have cancer?
Maybe Megan Jean.
how did she even come about? How did this shit even come about? Her lying. Her lying, her mama lying. How people even find this shit out?
Themselves. What's going on?
What if she and her mom are stealing donations? A small group
Oh
of
my
people
God.
on the internet suspects just that. They find more and more clues that the mother and daughter are scamming people. But no one believes them. That's not stopping them though. They will come after Megan and Jean for years, hacking them, setting a PI on their tracks. And one day, Megan is dead.
Y'all don't care about this bitch and her
Supporters
life,
will
do
say
it that
she
much?
got hounded to death by these online bullies.
A angry, jealous, bitter internet troll.
What happened here? Who is telling the truth? And who isn't?
We think we know the story. We think we've heard about this amazing woman who started a charity and then sadly died of a brain tumor. That's not what happened. Something else has happened here.
What the
This
fuck happened
is
in
the
front of
case of Believe in Magic.
Hey, Mrs. Smith, your bank account has been breached. Could you please answer the following questions so we can reset your account? What's your social security number?
Scams do not always include celebrities, a charity for ill children, and colorful wristbands. A simple phishing mail or call might be enough to lure you into an elaborate scheme.
I'll be
but
so
how
tired
do
of
those scammers get your data?
Bro, this motherfucker finna get me with an ad. Nah, I be so tired of seeing them bitches
First
for
look,
real though.
Incognito dashboard on a one cautious channel.
My
Then
name
they
is
always
Jamie
be set
Bartlett.
up in the
I am
dumbest
writer
fucking
and
way.
presenter of the podcast series Believe in Magic.
Jamie and his team have been investigating the story of Megan Barry and her charity in 7 brilliant episodes for the BBC. Be sure to check them out. You can also find Jamie on Instagram.
Y'all like that sound, don't it?
Megan Barry was born in 1995 in the south of England in Guildford. She's the youngest in her family, with 4 older half-siblings from her mom Jean's first marriage. Her parents
shit.
separate when she's a child. Megan ends up living alone with her mom, as her older siblings have already moved out. She
Wait,
lives a
if they all got the same mama, how they have siblings? How the fuck are they have siblings
Normal
if they got
life.
the same mama?
at least for a while.
When Megan is 13 years old, she wakes up in this sort of agonizing pain. She's sick, she can't see properly, she sort of tells the world that she's been rushed to hospital where they diagnose her with something called idiopathic intracranial hypertension.
Oh, that
That's
shit
a
sound
rare
like it
brain
hurt.
condition where the fluid around the brain, the cerebrospinal fluid, doesn't drain properly. This leads to increased pressure inside the skull. Patients experience severe headaches and vision problems. Megan
So a
starts
migraine,
blogging
nigga?
about her hospital treatments and doctor appointments. She leaves school and has to undergo numerous medical procedures.
Well, I've had 24 operations in the last few years. Wow.
Megan is not too sick to watch TV though. And around that time, 5 young men meet as contestants on X Factor. They end up forming a boy band.
Oh hell
Megan,
no!
like so many teens around the world, is a huge fan. In March 2011, a dream comes true for her.
Bro, I only
The
know
band
one person from One Direction. That's Harry Styles, bro.
is on tour and performs at the O2 Arena.
Bro, this
in
shit really
London.
used to be a fucking group. Nah, niggas really used to be
After
in
the
boy
show, Megan
bands.
gets to meet the boys along with other ill children. Shortly after, her health seems to get much worse.
Hey man, I don't know, bro. That boy band shit, it seem a little sweet to me, if you ask. Seem a little sweet to me.
In April 2011, her mother Jean announces that her daughter has a brain tumor. Instead of falling into despair, Megan and Jean set up their own charity, Believe in Magic, to help ill children.
Type
I've
shit.
been in and out of hospital and seen so many other very poorly children, and I just sort of realised how much that you miss out on when you're poorly and how much the other children are going through. And just wanted to do something to sort of give them the magical experiences back and to be able
Don't
to
be out
do
here
it again.
spreading this
Megan
false
is
hope
just
now,
16
Megan.
at the time. She and her mom are looking for support and turn to One Direction. The band members are touched by Megan's story and start supporting her charity. They start wearing Believe in Magic wristbands. Fans immediately jump at the purple accessory and
Oh,
barely
shit.
squeeze it in between the others. Other celebrities also start supporting Believe in Magic, but the relationship with One Direction remains special.
Hi, it's Louis from One Direction. We've been working with Believe in Magic now for a few years, and we think Meg and the team are absolutely incredible. Donate below.
Harry Styles' stepfather gets his chest hair waxed for Believe in Magic in July 2012.
Harry Styles' mum even climbed Mount Kilimanjaro to raise
Damn!
money to Believe in Magic. That's how sort of close they were.
Do your
And
big
in
one in.
2015, Lewis Tomlinson hosts the Cinderella Ball with his mom. Megan and Jean look incredibly happy that evening. Their charity is an enormous success. They fulfill wishes and gift trips to Disneyland or VIP tickets for a Chelsea match. Some children are even invited to Buckingham Palace to decorate the
Oh
Christmas
shit, wait,
tree.
hold on
All
now.
the children were given.
They actually giving back, though.
and
If it is fake, they still giving back to the, they even if it is fake, they still giving back to the cause. They still giving to the cause they said they was gonna give to, right? So why the fuck does it really matter to you niggas?
made dresses.
If she's
that were
sick
made
for real or
by
not.
Whoever made the bridesmaids dresses for Kate and William.
Despite Megan's illness, she and her mom do everything they can to make the children happy. Megan even receives an award from the then British Prime Minister David Cameron. He praises Megan's courage to fight for the fulfillment of others' dreams despite her own illness. He calls her an inspiration to us all.
Look at Megan, man.
Meanwhile, though,
So
Megan's
inspirational.
health seems to be getting worse and worse. According to Jean, she has to take over 100 pills a day.
I know. Alright. 100 pills a fucking day?
And cope with continuous pain, numerous hospital stays, surgeries. In fact, she is so unwell that Megan and Jean have to repeatedly ask the Believe in Magic community for money. For example, in 2012, when Megan needs special treatment at Boston Children's Hospital in the US.
The message is Megan has helped everyone. Megan has given up her life trying to raise money for others. It's now time to help Megan back.
3 years later follows another appeal, Help Save Megan. Jean announces that Megan's brain tumor has worsened. Megan requires proton beam therapy in the US, and they need about $180,000 for it. The fundraising goal is reached in just 33 hours.
Damn!
But then Jean posts an update that Megan's tumor is much worse even than they thought.
Alright, now, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
In her words, developed tentacles which have wrapped itself around one of the two main arteries in Meg's brain and the primary blood supply to her brain. As a result, the surgeons couldn't operate and had to cancel the proton beam therapy. Then a third appeal in 2016. Hashtag Meg's Turn for Magic. Once again, a huge wave of donations come in. They really are struggling and feeling very alone. Meg has come very close to losing her life several times over the past few weeks.
She can't even spell losing correctly.
A woman in
We
England...
trusting somebody who can't even spell losing correctly? She spelled it like loosing. Like loosening your grip. She didn't say losing.
Fundraising appeals. And she is growing increasingly skeptical. What she uncovers completely turns the story upside down.
That's what I'm saying, like, what the fuck? Like, now you be asking for too much, bruh.
Joanna Ashcroft first met Megan at a Believe in Magic event. She herself has a son who was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in 2011. That's a cancer of the nervous system.
Oh my
God. At the time, she also had to organize a fundraiser to find...
Bro, you can get cancer in anything, can't it? Like, cancer of the nervous system, that's crazy. Like, nigga probably can't even move.
But after reading Megan and Jean's fundraising appeals, she is left with a strange gut feeling.
To me, it just all sounded very, very strange. And as I'm reading, I'm trying to see where she's being treated, who a doctor is, where the hospital is, and there was no information.
She shares her concerns with a group of friends, other parents of children with neuroblastoma.
And they start to wonder, is Megan really as ill as she claims that she is?
Oh, they finna get her ass.
Convinced.
They are cautious though.
I mean, who asks someone with a serious brain condition to prove that they're ill? I mean, and if you're wrong about it, you're the worst person on the internet. It's terrible.
But when she sees Believe in Magic's latest appeal for donations...
Nigga, you got a brain tumor, prove it. Nigga, prove it. You die and prove it. That is kind of that is a crazy ass. Like, nigga, prove to me that you sick.
Joanna
right
is
now.
Certain something here can't be right. So she writes a message to the Facebook group Meg's Turn for Magic to find out which hospital Megan is being treated in.
God damn.
I'd love
W
to
fucking
send
animation. Y'all seen the way her
Megan
fingers move?
something, just like she sends all the poorly children. Which hospital do I send it to? To which I got a reply, thanks so much, but Megan's at 3 different hospitals at the moment, so it's very, very difficult.
Under the pseudonym Sarah Smith, she writes to a supporter listing the inconsistencies in Megan's story.
Do you have any evidence that Megan is seriously ill?
Damn. Straight like that.
Sarah, I don't even know what to say. I can't for 1 second believe they're not being truthful.
Many people saw with their own eyes how much medication Megan had to take and how badly she was doing. These supporters have no doubts about her condition.
Right.
Meanwhile, Megan's state of health is supposedly getting even worse. She's on constant oxygen and has multiple infections, they say. In short, it doesn't look good. But none of it adds up for Joanna and her friends.
Man, nigga, mama trying to get paid. Hold on, I'll be back real quick. I promise I won't be long. Hey, give me a bowl of ice cream, cuz.
is a bit of a hacker.
They send an email to Jean, but they've embedded a piece of code in the email that will reveal her location.
As soon as Jean opens
No,
it, they will
no.
know where Megan and Jean are. And jackpot.
Oh
Megan
my
is
God,
not
that's
in
gotta be illegal, right? No way. No way they did this shit. That's gotta be illegal, right? Bro, it wasn't that deep, was it? To the point where you gotta put...
so ill that her supporters are incredibly worried about her. She's at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. To be exact, in Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge.
There's no way that anybody with a child who is that sick would be in a Disney resort. So I rang the Kidani there and then without really thinking it through. And they put me through to the room and Jean answered. So I said,
"Hi, can I speak to Megan, please?"
And she said, "Sorry?" I said, "Is Megan there, please?" She said, "Who's calling?" She's asleep at the moment.
All right, I'll ring back, thank you.
And I put the phone down.
She calls again.
I said, "Is Megan awake yet?" "Oh, Megan's not here. Megan's seriously unwell. Megan's in hospital." I said, "Oh, so you're not in Disney?" And she said, "No, I'm not in Disney. Megan's in hospital. Who is this?"
Oh my God! It's up. The jig is up. The jig is up. The jig is up. The jig is up. You is caught.
And I put the phone down.
Jean and Megan deny any wrongdoing. According to them, they are at Disney World, but their hotel room supposedly has been converted into a hospital.
Get the fuck out of here.
Joanna doesn't believe any of it. This has to be a mess.
Get the fuck out of here.
Massive scam. She contacts the charity commission, doctors, and the police, but no one takes action.
Damn, stop snitching.
She and her friends don't give up though. When a new opportunity arises to uncover Jean and Megan's apparent scam, they seize it. For her special treatments, Megan can only travel to the US and back by ship. Commercial airplanes are not an option due to her brain tumor. The pressure in them is too high. The group learns that Megan and Jean are returning to England. They usually sail on the luxury ocean liner Queen Mary II. So Joanna and friends check the sailing times. The cruise ship has just left New York and is heading towards Southampton. The group hires a private detective. They want to know, how bad is Megan's condition really? According to Jean's updates, she should be in a wheelchair. Also,
Megan's going to have an oxygen tank with her.
Oh,
the Queen Mary
shit,
II
getting
has
interesting.
just arrived. Guests are leaving the ship. The hired private detective is at the dock, observing the scene. More and more people pass by.
No way a
Finally,
PI
he
is
spots
dressing
the two
like that
women
for
he was
real.
looking for.
Nigga, you
He
look so
writes in his
suspicious.
report, Megan and Jean are observed exiting the arrivals area. He snaps a picture.
Where there was no oxygen tank with her,
No.
she wasn't in a wheelchair. In fact, there were porters there that helped people to move their luggage, and Meg and Jean just walked past them, pushing bags and bags and bags, like huge bags, to their car.
The private detective also observes they are talking and laughing with each other. Megan doesn't seem to be doing half as badly as Jean claimed.
Megan does look like she's overweight. Doesn't look the healthiest, but she does not look like someone who just a few days before was knocking on death's door.
Jamie Bartlett has seen the receipts from Megan's and Jean's stay at Disney World.
That over a 5 or 6 month period, Megan and Jean had spent tens of thousands of dollars at Disney World, Florida. Money that they had raised for this life-threatening condition that Megan apparently had.
Y'all niggas so janky.
Joanna's group is now absolutely certain. Megan is lying about having brain cancer.
Damn, man.
Joanna notifies the authorities and in December 2016 opens a Facebook group. The truth about Megan and Jean. She even travels to London and presents
Open
her
the
research
Facebook.
on Believe in Magic to the Charity Commission. In
Mm.
February 2017, the commission initiates an investigation. The group is reassured. They have done everything possible to uncover the fraud. They are convinced it's just a matter of time before Meghan and Jean's scam is exposed by the authorities.
Goddamn.
But just a year later, on March 28th, 2018, Meghan is dead.
Damn.
She passed away at the age of 23 at the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery in London.
Is that facts though?
The Believe in Magic community is shocked. Supporters, parents of ill children who were supported by the charity mourn Meghan and remember what a great person she was.
I can't explain that enough. What an amazing human being she was. She really was. She had more sympathy and love for people than I'd ever met anybody before. She got on with children so well, really, really well. It was beautiful to see.
Because she was like a fairy godmother to these children. That's how she was. That's how these children, very ill children, saw her.
Some Believe in Magic supporters blame Joanna Ashcroft and her friends for Meghan's death. They allegedly hounded Meghan and destroyed her life.
And what Meg used to say was this woman was a pain in the arse. She was very demanding. She started up this, I'd call it a witch hunt.
Bewilderment, anger and grief dominate the community. They lost Meghan, the young woman who did so much for them. So, did Meghan Barry have cancer or not? Her body was examined after her death, and according to the forensic pathologist, Meghan's brain was morphologically normal. No swelling, no high pressure,
morphologically?
And no trace of a brain tumor.
Meghan Barry did not die because of a brain tumour. There was no evidence that she had a brain tumour or any brain abnormality. What she died of at 23 years old was an acute cardiac arrhythmia. That's sort of
I thought he was finna say her mama killed her.
Regular heartbeat, which was caused by liver disease.
It's a natural death, but very unusual for a 23-year-old. This poses so many new questions. Why did such a young person die of heart failure? Why did she lie about having brain cancer? Why did the lie go unnoticed for so long? And what about all the medication people saw her take?
Yeah, that's probably why.
There once was a German nobleman. He was known as the Baron of Lies because he would always tell crazy, fantastical stories of his adventures. His name was Hieronymus Karl Friedrich Freiherr von Münchhausen. He is the namesake of a psychological disorder, the Münchhausen syndrome, where people intentionally fake an illness. They make up symptoms and present them very dramatically. Sometimes they might try to get sick on purpose. They go from doctor to doctor describing their fabricated or self-induced complaints for attention, pity, or even money. Could that be the reason why Meghan claimed to have brain cancer? She especially loved one member of One Direction, Harry Styles.
He was absolutely obsessed.
Damn! I told y'all earlier, he the only nigga I know that probably could. Was he just the most popular or some shit?
With One Direction. Completely in love with Harry Styles. I think she changed her Twitter to Meg Styles or something like that. She wouldn't stop talking about them.
When Meghan first met One Direction in 2011, she was supposedly dealing with idiopathic intracranial hypertension. It causes discomfort, but usually it's not life-threatening. Though only a few weeks after that encounter, she suddenly claimed to have a brain tumor.
You know, there are so many people trying to get One Direction's attention online at the time. But if you're extremely unwell, you're more likely to be able to do that.
Ever since she claimed to have brain cancer, she became famous and had regular contact with her favorite stars. But that's not the full answer.
And Jean said, "Oh, Natalie, all you need to know is the sicker Meg is, the more attention we get, the more money we make."
I don't think people realise how dangerous she is, how manipulative she is, how much of an effect she's had on people.
There's another condition related to Munchausen syndrome, known as Munchausen by proxy, or fabricated or induced illness by carers. It's a rare form of child abuse where a parent tries to convince doctors that their child is ill. In addition to lying about the child's symptoms and diagnosis,
why though?
It cannot.
Like why? Like what is the purpose behind it? Lying about your child being sick. What is the purpose behind it?
Also involve intentionally causing illnesses. Sometimes the parents are aware of their behavior. Sometimes they are not. The parent's behavior can also make the respective child firmly believe it is in fact ill. You might remember Megan had several half-siblings. On Jamie's podcast, they talk about their own childhood and how it was to live with Jean.
In our kitchen, we had an oak table, like a farmhouse table, and we had above it some cupboards. 4 of us would sit around the table, and every time we'd sit down for dinner, we'd play this game because there would always be a tin that would roll off the top of the cupboard and nearly hit us on the head. Jean wanted one of us to have an accident, and for us, that doesn't seem unusual or far-fetched. That explains what she was like.
They seem to have the memory that Jean somehow revelled in her children being unwell. She liked the attention, she enjoyed the drama, she got to be seen as the heroic caregiver.
One of the daughters had kidney issues when she was 9. Jean's solution? Giving her cups of salty Bovril.
And that's the last thing you should ever do if you have those kinds of conditions.
You would know as an adult that giving cups of very salty drinks to a child who's got kidney problems is bad. There was 4 of us, all within a couple of years of each other. They didn't get Bovril, only I got Bovril. So was it a deliberate thing?
According to the sisters, whenever someone they knew was sick or injured, Megan would suddenly fall ill with a similar condition. At this point, they were already grown up and Megan lived alone with Jean. When the newborn niece needed oxygen tanks, Jean suddenly announced that Megan in America also relied on oxygen tanks. If the half-brother had crutches due to a knee injury, Megan also had them shortly after. When the half-sister had sepsis, Megan was suddenly hospitalized for sepsis too.
I'm going to predict this is going to happen next. And then we'd like put little bets on it and we'd be like, yes, we got it right.
Damn, they transitioned to a game.
Megan was just 13 years old when she supposedly got ill. Her entire teenage years were marked by doctor visits and surgeries. Her whole life revolved around her supposed illness.
From a very young age, Megan was kind of encouraged and indulged to be a very unwell person. So rather than, as most parents would do, you encourage your child to be healthy, and if they are unwell, get them over it as quickly as possible. This was the opposite.
She took a lot of meds, including opioids. Doctors noted opioid-seeking behavior in her, and always by her side was her mother. Jean was the one who often posted the fundraising appeals, and she was also the one who first mentioned Megan's brain tumor in a Twitter post.
Dummy.
Part of the motivation here seems to have been to become a celebrity, to meet celebrities, to meet One Direction, to become this hero that could then look after other kids, because they were able to help a lot of children. A lot of children got a lot of benefit from the work Megan and Jean did. And I think they enjoyed doing that for those children.
I believe that's why the charity came about and why the charity was started, to get the attention of One Direction.
Later, a special review was conducted into Megan's death.
Despite there being no formal diagnosis of FII in this case, the presentation and coroner's conclusion lead all involved to think it was likely to have been FII.
Belief in Magic was investigated in 2017.
Believe.
It was found that charity money had been transferred into Jean's personal bank account and £100,000 were unaccounted for. In August 2020, Believe in Magic was closed down. Jamie and his team tried to locate Jean. They tracked her all the way to France and back to the UK, but to no avail.
And Jean never ever responded to us until right at the very end, just before we were about to publish, where she sent us a sort of blurry picture of a brain scan and said, look, this is proof that Megan really did have a brain tumor. How dare you question me?
Man, get the fuck out of here, Gene.
Denied that she'd ever wanted to harm Megan, denied that she'd lied about it.
In the end, we may never get all the answers to this case. But hopefully the story of Megan Barry can help to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
It's happening right now as we speak, as I watch this video.
Or as we call it now, FII in the UK, is not just something that can happen to small children. You can be an adult and still be heavily under the influence of your parents or a caregiver. And that is something that the NHS here in the UK has now recognised and is starting to put out more guidance about this problem. Partly, I think, as a result of this case.
Damn, that's crazy as a motherfucker that you can do you can do shit like that to your child, to your kid, bruh, to your kid. Man, it just don't make sense to me, bruh. But some people that sick in the head. But hey though, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And guess what? Y'all know what I'm finna say. I'm gonna get at y'all in the next one.